Hello, everybody. Welcome to Who the Hell Asked. We're covering Xbox and Bethesda's Game Showcase. I'm Byron, alongside Slade.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
And that presentation was pretty good. Pretty good. I have
Yeah,
to say.
actually, I did not think the presentation. If you had told me before the presentation that they weren't going to show off Elder Scrolls 6 or pretty much any of the other games that were massively anticipated, I would have told you, "Oh wow, this presentation is going to fucking suck." Then, but no, it was surprisingly really good. I think it's the best presentation so far this E3.
Yeah, and for context, we are recording this after we literally watched Squares, and we're not gonna say much. It's fucking shit. Okay. But speaking of things that aren't shit, let's talk Microsoft and their announcements for E3. So they started with, one of the things that excited people: Sea of Thieves, A Pirate's Life. Sea of Thieves cross Pirates of the Caribbean content is coming to Sea of Thieves on I believe it's June 22nd for
free.
free.
A free update.
Yeah, for free. Which
that was pretty interesting. I think it's a crossover that obviously makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not like, oh, we should have done it earlier because, Disney and stuff like that. But I think it's really interesting. I think for Sea of Thieves fans, they're going to be pretty surprised and also enjoy the shit out of that. So
yeah, absolutely. This fits. I'm surprised it's not paid DLC, considering it's Disney. But hey, some good news. Good news.
Yeah, now you mentioned that is kind of surprising that it's not paid DLC. It's just really shocking it's a free update, but it's got Disney content. Usually Disney's all like, "No, we want your money." Oh!
Yeah, but yeah, this is really cool, and I love the logo that they made for this.
Okay, props to them. So we finally got an update on Halo Infinite. No release date yet. Still, but it is coming out this holiday apparently.
Yeah,
but they said that last year, so
yeah, they didn't show much for Halo this year, which is surprising to both me and Slade.
Yeah, I figured this half the presentation was going to be Halo. That tells me the game's not as far along as people would think right now, which possibly not good news. So
yeah. So,
as a Halo fan myself, let me go over some things from the trailer I liked, plus trailer I disliked. We didn't get to see a whole lot of the single-player campaign. In fact, I think all we got were cinematics on that front, which they keep saying they're going for this, Halo Combat Evolved style single-player, but until I actually get to see a lot of gameplay of it, you can't make that claim, right? So... And multiplayer, it looks like, they're kind of bringing back all the stuff from Halo 4 and Halo 5 with sprinting and armor abilities and stuff like that. I'm not a fan, so if they continue to go in that direction, it's just okay, well, I don't think they understand what made the multiplayer for Halo 2, 3, and Reach really good compared to, everything that came after.
Yeah, so... and Halo will have, like all multiplayer games do these days, seasons.
Yeah.
Hooray!
And I think you don't even have to buy Halo Infinite to play the multiplayer. I think the multiplayer is just free straight up.
Yeah, the multiplayer will be free to play. Yeah, so that's gonna be interesting to see how many downloads Halo Infinite does for the multiplayer.
If I'm not mistaken, that's the current Call of Duty model.
I don't know. I don't care about Call of Duty, so
that's fair.
Know.
That's fair. So yeah, look forward to that. Possibly, maybe this holiday season. Once again, they said the same thing last year, so something expectations, blah blah blah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Byron, what was something that interested you?
Oh, we finally got the Psychonauts 2 release date, August 25th, which was a couple months earlier than I thought. I thought it was going to be sometime in October. This game continues to look incredible, and I still have to at some point play and possibly stream the first game, but this game has me interested in purchasing it.
Oh yeah, it definitely looked like a really fun and interesting platformer.
Absolutely.
I also like the puns they had on exploration and stuff like that.
Yeah, all those like brain, like thought-strations, I think.
Yeah.
So many puns. A game after my own heart. But yeah, really looking forward to the Psychonauts 2. And oh yeah, as you can see in the bottom left corner, Game Pass. Very common words used for this presentation. Game Pass.
Oh yeah, so we talked about this a bit in our predictions video, but it seems like Microsoft knows that the success of the Xbox Series X and S are tied almost entirely to the success of Game Pass.
Yes.
So it seems like every single first-party game they announce is it going to be on Game Pass day one, from my understanding. And a lot of other games are also going to be on Game Pass as well. Surprising amount of third-party games.
Yeah. Surprising.
But overall, that was a really, really good conference. So one thing I found really interesting is it seems like Square Enix isn't the only company with a monopoly on HD 2D games. Eiyuden Chronicle Rising and Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, which one of those games kind of looked like a beat 'em up and the other kind of looked like a 2D action type game. Kind of reminds me of the really old what's that series? They're made by Neon Falcom. Adol's the main character.
I don't know. It's slipping my mind too.
The Yeast series. So I definitely think those games are going to be really interesting and fascinating. I know a lot of people were kind of like, oh, they're using the Octopath engine because every HD2 game's automatically Octopath.
Well, okay.
Obviously not.
I will admit, I did dead ass think Eiyuden. I'm gonna fucking butcher that.
Just call it Eiyuden.
Yeah. Chronicles 100 Heroes. Definitely looked very like if you put that game and Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D, it'd be very hard to tell like which was made by HD 2D and which wasn't.
That's fair. But anyways, I'm definitely looking forward to those games. They're going to be incredibly interesting. That wasn't the only HD 2D game.
But yeah, style.
That was announced here. Stylistically. Wasn't there another one?
Replaced.
Yeah, Replaced. Wait, was it Replaced, the beat-em-up game?
It was the HD 2D game. It was the pixel art style game that you said when we were watching this together in a call, said it kind of looked like a beat-em-up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, did I get Eiyuden Chronicles mixed up with that? I probably did. Embarrassing. But anyways, as I said, I'm a really big fan of the art style. I know a lot of people are going to be like disappointed. Oh, this is what JRPGs and what I've turned into now. They all have to look like Octopath, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But I think it's actually good overall for the industry. Because, personally, I think pixel art is great. And I hope we get more of it.
So, one of the absolute funniest things of all of this week of gaming came from Grounded, which is a Obsidian live service game, the Shroom and Doom update. And one of the funniest fucking things of this week in gaming was the fact that there is a arachnophobia safe mode.
Yeah, when I saw that during the trailer, I was like, oh my god, that's great. I'm actually probably, if I play that game, I'm probably going to use it. Like, real talk.
Yeah. So basically, there is a scale, I think it's from 100 to 5, and like the closer you put the scale to 5, the more it turns from a spider to like this like goop monster. But like, I think this is the first video game ever to have a arachnophobia safe mode. And the way they implemented it, I found hilarious. It's cool.
Oh yeah, 10 out of 10.
It's cool that
was definitely the second best trailer of the day, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, like I can't. Arachnophobia mode. That shit killed me. That shit killed me.
That was great.
Oh,
that was definitely Okay, go ahead, Byron. Go ahead.
Speaking of shit that killed me. The Outer Worlds 2!
Yes, my favorite trailer of the day and so far this E3. So, It was kind of funny because they were very self-aware about what type of trailer it was. They were kind of making jokes about, ray tracing and like fire gun. You're playing slow motion.
Yeah,
They'll bump up the pre-orders.
Yeah,
and shit.
your character stands there in a silhouette, and I believe I dead ass said, "Oh, this looks like something I'd see in like the Devolver show."
Yeah, so I was just kind of like laughing, having a good time, whatever. I didn't think too much of it. Like, oh, it's probably just some random fucking first-person shooter or something. Nobody cares. But then as soon as I saw the Outer Worlds too, like I saw the logo of that, I actually lost my shit. I got super excited.
Yeah,
which is funny because the trailer is supposed to be making fun of people who get excited over cinematic trailers.
Yeah,
and but damn it, they got me.
Yeah, it's Slade over here. Like, Slade probably created so far for me the funniest moment of this entire week of gaming. His reaction to the Outer Worlds 2 was fucking hilarious.
I think that's the first game this entire E3 that's gotten, like, an actual reaction out of
you. Yeah, a visceral reaction out of you.
I'll just sit there, like, laughing, having a good time, like... it's like, this game, I need to see what game this is, because they're incredibly self-aware, and I think it's hilarious. And then it's this, I don't know, too. I was like, oh my god, yes, I want this game.
Yeah. There currently is no release date for the Outer Worlds 2, but if you like the first one, you probably will.
Oh, they're definitely playing up on that trend where they just show off the logo of the game and like, almost nothing else.
Sonic, whatever the fuck it's called, Sonic 2022. Fucking Dragon
Quest 12, Metroid Prime 4, Bayonetta 3. Like,
this game.
Yeah, that's the trend we live in, guys. That's the world we live in. But, yeah, that was definitely the moment of the show for me, overall.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. So, Bethesda. Bethesda was mentioned. Not as much as I thought it would.
Yeah, I figured Bethesda would have a much larger presence overall, but
they did have a few things. They had Starfield, which they showed I think it was either a CG trailer or it was an Creation Engine 2 trailer, which just showed the moon and a man on a spaceship controlling things. But Starfield is going to be an Xbox exclusive. First off, that's big news. It's going to be Xbox only.
That is pretty huge because a lot of people were wondering whether or not Bethesda's previously announced games for multiple platforms would then go Xbox exclusive or not. And I think this is the first game that they've announced that I think was initially for all platforms.
To
kind of be reeled back in and just be an Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, I believe so. But yeah. Xbox exclusive, so it's going to be on the Series S, the Series X, Game Pass, xCloud, and it said, like quite a few of these games, Windows 10 PC. Now, we don't know what that means, because Microsoft will be, like, showing off the quote, next generation of Windows.
My hard read is they're going to have their own shop.
Yes.
And that's going to launch on that.
Yeah, I don't think
they're going to put it on Steam or Epic Game Store.
Yeah, I think they're going to redesign the Microsoft Windows Store. And this will be like, and I think that's where this will land. And it will land on November 11th, 2022. So quite a bit away. So about like 17 months away. So I guess that's why they didn't show much, but yeah. And oh boy. The other big Bethesda thing was Fallout 76.
Yep, we got 2 expansions announced. Yep. The first one seemed to be a story kind of based one where you could side with 2 factions of the Brotherhood of Steel. I guess it was either justice or duty.
Yep, Fallout 76 Steel Rain, that will be available on July 7th. Free for Fallout 76 players. And then the other expansion.
Yeah, so the other expansion is what disappointed me. Because at first I was kind of wondering, is this a new Fallout game? Oh my gosh. And then I saw it was the pet, and I'm like, okay, this is just another expansion, and it's probably for 76. And lo and behold, it was.
For a hot second, I had the weird thought of, wait, is this a Fallout 3 remake? And then
I don't think. Yeah, I remember thinking something like, "Nah, I don't think it could be a Fallout 3 remake because this was a Fallout 3 DLC." I feel like they would show something off in like the Capital Wasteland where the base game like took place.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was hoping that it was a new Fallout game, and I guess I was disappointed it was more 76 content. But
but yeah,
it's interesting that they're willing to revisit other locale from previous Fallout games in 76.
Yeah,
which actually kind of caught me off guard.
Yeah, which I think for Fallout 76 players, this might mean potentially they're going to expand into more older Fallout areas. Maybe.
I kind of hope this isn't a trend that sticks around, because I think a lot of people kind of want to go back to having their single-player Fallout experience.
Yeah.
But, I mean, thankfully Obsidian's making the Outer Worlds, so
yes,
maybe we don't have to look very far for that, thankfully.
Yeah, and that was it from Bethesda, which is surprising considering they were...
I think a lot of people thought this was going to be like their coming out party or something. Like, they were going to go big, and they kind of weren't there. Not that it made the conference worse, because I think the conference was actually still really good overall.
Yes. Yeah.
But definitely interesting.
Yeah, no Elder Scrolls 6, which hella surprised me.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. Like I said, if you told me like Elder Scrolls 6 wasn't going to be there at all, I was like, okay, well, this conference is probably going to suck, or Fable for that matter.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, I don't know if I remember thinking like, oh, Fable's going to be here.
I was fairly confident because they announced it last year. We were going to get something like some gameplay. Or I guess that what that tells me is that a lot of the games they announced last year, they're not very far along in development. So it's probably going to be a year or two before like we see anything for those.
Yeah, and another game we had a logo for that I thought would be here was Perfect Dark. And and
you know what? They showed it off in a little bit of the montage at the end. It's like, you're kidding, right?
Like,
no trailer, no gameplay, nothing? Nothing?
Like, so what that tells me is that Perfect Dark is way earlier in development than I think we thought.
Yeah, because I thought Perfect Dark was supposed to come out like this year, wasn't it?
Well, it didn't have a release year.
Yeah, but I think from the original trailer, a lot of people said, okay, so this is probably halfway or even 3/4 of the way through development.
You think, but like as you said earlier, we have this new trend called just show a logo, and that's
I guess so.
And that's fucking it.
I guess so. So,
but yeah.
No Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
Which very surprising for both of us.
But one of the another funny thing to come out of this. So you all know the Xbox Series X, right? That thing. You know how people, when it was revealed at the Game Awards, were making memes about it looking like a fucking fridge? Xbox Mini Fridge, Holiday 2021. It's real. It's happening.
Didn't they announce that on Twitter like a few months ago? That was something they were doing? I swear I saw it somewhere else before.
They announced that they were doing it. They didn't give a release date.
But now we have a release date for this holiday.
Yeah, and they showed it off a little bit more. It looked like it could hold like 6 or 8 like regular like cans of soda.
Yeah, I think it's the same size as an Xbox Series X.
That would be hilarious. But yeah,
a lot of people are going to confuse the two.
Well, no, I think the packaging will be distinct enough for this. But yeah, this is another hilarious thing, because I'm like, oh man, I can't wait for the YouTube videos of unboxings of this, because it's going to be great. Speaking of things that were great, Slade, Hades is apparently getting a physical edition. Yeah,
so honestly pretty fantastic. I'm glad that it's getting a physical edition for the Xbox. Also kind of glad it's coming to like the Xbox in general, just because like the more people that play Hades, the better. Hades is an honestly fantastic game. If you haven't played it already, buy it. Go play it. It's so fucking good. Don't even wait for the physical edition. Just straight up go buy it. buy the game.
Yeah,
it's a really good roguelike. Music is fantastic, gameplay is fantastic, story is fantastic. Everything about it is fantastic. I would sincerely recommend it to anybody who hasn't played it yet.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it's available. I know it's available on, I think, PS4. I know for a damn fact it's available on Steam. I know it's available on Switch, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if it wasn't, but yeah. So yeah, that was kind of shocking for me. I didn't expect Hades to be here at all. Because I'm like,
yeah, neither did I. Right. And get a physical edition to boot on top of that.
Yeah, and it's, yeah, one of these like, oh, Series X, but you also get an Xbox One version. At least I think that's how it works. I'm not too familiar, but...
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works either.
Oh, yeah.
So, well, it is backwards compatible, so it could just be an Xbox One game.
It could, because I think it is also getting those, like, yeah, those Xbox enhancements. Speaking of games with Xbox enhancements, Forza Horizon 5. Yeah. Yeah,
I think that game, when we were looking at it, visually, I was just like, wow, this looks incredible.
Yeah, so Slade at first thought this was taking place in, like, Arizona.
Southwest U.S. I said Arizona out loud, but
yeah,
it was like Southwest U.S. area. It's taking place in Mexico, so I was not that far off.
Yeah, and it's a bit more of an open Forza than usual, from what I understand.
That's what really surprised me. Is it seems like there's going to be a lot of like exploration and whatnot involved, and I think that's honestly like great.
Yeah, because one of the few cons, and there were a few cons for this presentation. One of them is the time they spent on Forza Horizon 5, because they had the trailer, of course, but then they also had a developer, I think, gameplay to show off the gameplay for the game, and I think they spent about 5 minutes, I think, on the gameplay, and they
didn't spend too long. I don't think it overstayed its welcome, unlike a certain other game at a certain other conference that we're not mentioning here.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy. But
yeah.
Overall, as I said, Forza 5 actually looks incredible. I have not played any of the game in the Forza series before, but I'm actually seriously considering Forza 5 because I feel like they showed me enough there to be like, okay, you've caught my interest.
Yeah, and look at the screen that's currently on the screen. It's a volcano mountain track. That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, the whole thing looks fucking cool. Honestly, one of the best looking games I think I have seen.
Yeah, speaking of a game that we thought looked cool, Slime Rancher 2. It was a game. It had a nice visual style. That's about it.
Because as soon as I saw it, it's like you collect the little slimes and you stuff them in a box. I'm like, yeah, I don't think this game's for me. Don't get me wrong, gorgeous art style.
Yeah. Visually beautiful.
I don't think I'd play that game. Yeah.
So the games keep on getting weirder. We have party animals.
Yeah, so it's and I love the ragdoll. It's kind of like when people play with the dolls, like kids do. It's kind of like that, except there's no hands.
Yeah, another game, Gang Beasts. I don't know if you ever heard of that game, Gang Beasts. It kind of has
I might have.
Yeah, it's very similar to this game. I've seen a few people play it. It looks like it's fun. Weird that it's at an Xbox presentation, but it looked cool. It was a fun thing to just have there.
Interesting.
Yeah. So Shredders.
Yeah, so I was looking at the Ubisoft presentation, and what is that called? Riders?
Riders Republic. Yeah.
Riders Republic. Mm-hmm. And then I came to the Shredders game, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that this game looks bad. I think it looks pretty stunning for the most part.
Yeah.
But I feel like, in terms of a thrill-seeking game overall, I feel like Ubisoft did a much better job selling that game compared to, Microsoft trying to sell Shredders or whatever.
Yeah.
In terms of thrill-seeking sports and whatnot, I feel like Riders Republic kind of stole a lot of the potential thunder this game could have had.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I mean, it does look pretty, and it is a snowboarding game.
Yeah.
Bit basic.
Yeah, it's purely a snowboarding game, so if you're looking for a more realistic snowboarding game, this might be this might be the game for you in December.
Yeah.
Which is
personally, I prefer like ridiculous shit like SSX Tricky and like stuff like that.
Yeah. I think you made a comment when we were watching this about SSX.
Oh yeah, well that's like one of the best snowboarding games of all time. Yeah. Like real talk.
But yeah, I will.
It's hard not to think about it.
Yeah, I will say Shredders is releasing at like the perfect time though. It's releasing in December.
Yeah, right. So like, hey, you can't leave your house to go snowboarding because of the pandemic, but don't worry, we got you.
Well, you might be able to in December, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
So I think there were quite a few surprises at this that we 100% did not expect. One of those was Diablo 2 Resurrected. So yeah, Diablo Resurrected. So it showed off the so it was showing like, oh, there's classic gameplay, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then I randomly shouted, oh, it's Diablo 1, because for some reason I just thought, oh, this is a Diablo 1 remaster. No, it's a Diablo 2 remaster.
Interesting.
Yeah, what do you think of this, Slade?
Overall, I think it's interesting that they chose to remaster Diablo 2 overall. I do know that it's the best Diablo game in the entire series, so it makes sense from, like, because I try to get their fans excited and, like, their expectations up.
Yeah.
Then, yeah. Mm-hmm. But, overall, I think a lot of people were expecting a new Diablo game, so this is a very surprising twist, overall.
Yeah.
But, definitely one that I am here for. I think they're making a good choice.
Yeah,
with remastering Diablo 2.
And it's coming out in September. No, September 23rd. So it's coming soon. So if you want a Diablo fix, well, you've got your Diablo fix right there.
Oh yeah.
So there was a game at this presentation that ended the presentation that I don't think should have ended the presentation, considering some of these other games that were at this presentation that could have been put at the end. A Bethesda game called Redfall.
Well, it's an entirely new IP, so I get what they were going for. Yeah. I think it looks like super gorgeous and like interesting. Like they rendered like everything like really good during that game overall.
Yeah, it
kind of looks like a Left 4 Dead, and I say this a lot.
Yeah,
had like a baby with some sort of like vampire shit. I'm not even sure what the hell those things are.
Yeah, I think they're like vampires, or at least like mystical creatures
of some sort. Yeah. But I think that game could be interesting, and like I said, I'm never going to complain about new IP. I think the industry as a whole just needs to have more new IP in general, instead of just rehashing the same ones we know and love.
Yeah, but like I will say, I do not think this should have been the thing to end the conference with, though. Like I get what they were going for. Push new IPs. That's always a good thing. It's always a great thing to do. But considering what else was here that could have ended it, like you could have ended it with Halo, but yeah, it would have disappointed people. You could have ended it with Starfield, which Starfield actually kicked off the conference, which was really surprising. But I guess start off with a bang, if you will. But yeah, Redfall, a 1 to 4 player vampire shooting hunting game, I think. There were a few other smaller announcements, like we're getting a game called Contraband from Avalanche Studios. We didn't get much about it. It's an open world co-op game from the makers of, I believe, Just Cause?
Yeah.
If I'm correct on that?
I think that could be really interesting, just open world and co-op. Like, I could definitely see myself playing that with a friend or something. Maybe on Who the Hell Asked? Question mark?
Maybe. And
Maybe.
Speaking of weird, one last thing. There was a game called Atomic Heart. It had some weird, like, robot characters. And the one thing we noticed about that, the trailer had anime-ass music.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. And Byron said it was out of place, but I'm not entirely sure about that yet. It was definitely like it was obviously like Western music, but like at the same time, it did sound like something that would play in an anime. It was super weird.
Yeah, like it didn't have the anime aesthetic, which I don't think a game called Atomic Hearts would, but who knows? But like,
I think it's interesting.
It just felt off to me. Like you have.
I felt like most of what we were shown was more cinematic than actual gameplay. Yeah, so I can't really make a judgment on the game either. But like,
yeah, but it looks to be like a more realistic looking game with anime ass music.
I wouldn't worry about the music too much. I think it's fine. As I said, to me, I just wish I saw more gameplay of it because I think the concept looks kind of fascinating for the most part. It just felt like it was too cinematic for me to like make a judgment either here or there.
That's fair. The music just threw me for an absolute fucking loop. I will say. But that was the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase. Probably the best presentation so far of this entire gaming week.
Yeah, and I think the only things we have left at this point are Capcom, which is tomorrow, and Nintendo plus Bandai Namco on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like Byron said earlier, we did do this fresh off of the Square Enix presentation, and spoilers, we're not doing a video on that one by itself. We're probably going to do one for Square Enix, Capcom, Ubisoft, and Bandai Namco. We're going to put them all together.
Yeah, but, we will have that probably at some point later on this week.
Overall, just get used to hearing about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh my!
Maybe it'll take 20 minutes of our video, just like it took 20 minutes of their presentation.
Don't put the people through that. But yeah, overall, best conference so far.
Oh yeah, hands down. Hopefully the Nintendo Direct shows us a lot that we could get excited for, but only time will tell. Anyways, this has been Slade.
And this has been Byron. We hope you all are enjoying the Gaming News Week, and we hope you all have a good day or night. Bye-bye.
Take it easy, everyone.